When it comes to responsibility, we all need to take part in protecting one another in society to ensure one another's human rights are not being denied. To protect human rights is to ensure people receive some degree of decent human treatment. Human trafficking is a major issue and it is affecting many people in Thailand due to poverty. More than 115 million children worldwide are subjected to the worst forms of child labor, including trafficking for commercial sex, exploitation, and hazardous physical labor. 80% of trafficking involves sexual exploitation and 20% involves labor exploitation. It won't easily be put to a stop, but if we work together and look out for one another, we can definitely make an impact on this atrocious crime. Human trafficking may subject victims to sexual exploitation, forced labor, slavery, servitude, or illegal removal and sale of organs. Approximately there are 25 million slaves in the world. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services says human trafficking is the second most prolific criminal industry. The reason many individuals are forced into situations such as these is due to poverty. Often, when humans begin to struggle for survival, they resort to drastic methods such as this, causing disarray in the civilized world. Thailand is a destination country for human traffickers. People are trafficked from North Korea, China, Burma, and Vietnam. There are many causes of human trafficking in Thailand. Many argue that Thailand is a destination for human trafficking because of its relative affluence in the greater sub-Mekong region. Other cited vulnerability factors include statelessness, poverty, lack of education, awareness, and unemployment, or dysfunctional families. In Thailand, poverty is an ordeal that affects many of its people. 775,000 people in Thailand live on less than $1 a day, and 6.1 million live in poverty. Currently, there are 2.8 million prostitutes, 1/3 of which are children forced into labor. These people in Thailand are put into the trafficking system because of desperate times. Human traffickers flock to poverty-stricken areas and exploit the poor for their own malicious benefit. Parents will even resort to sell their children in order not to starve. Due to these disparities, men, women, and children are forced into commercial sex and labor for very little to no pay. Other sources suggest that human trafficking is not driven by poverty, but rather by supply and demand. Human trafficking does not exist solely because people are vulnerable to exploitation. Instead, human trafficking is fueled by demand for cheap labor or services, or for commercial sex acts. Human traffickers are exploiting women and children for the profit due to high demand. We are all responsible for guaranteeing the protection of our own human rights, and in this sense, our peers' human rights. There are ways we can contribute to help enforce protection against human trafficking. We can donate to the funding of reputable human rights organizations and human trafficking organizations. Also, we can look for the signs of human trafficking in our communities, such as signs of physical abuse or poor living conditions. Often in Thailand, human trafficking is overlooked or goes unnoticed by law enforcement. Due to this, the international community has a responsibility to step up and hold countries accountable. For instance, trade sanctions can be put in place or monetary aid could be cut or defended unless the human trafficking situation is dramatically reduced. Many people do not realize how large human trafficking has become in Thailand. The reason Thailand is such an issue with human trafficking is because of poverty and immigration. We are responsible for defending people's human rights. By spreading the word, staying informed, and writing our representatives, and donating to reputable organizations, we can make an impact on human trafficking in Thailand.